Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Kevin and Mikkel. We are back with another video. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. I enjoyed my weekend. It was just a quiet weekend. How was your weekend?
My weekend was cool. It was... I cannot remember what I did. No. I had a good weekend. I started coming down with a cold. Because, you know, Friday was extremely, extremely nice. Like
That's
in the 60s. No jacket type of weather. That's how nice it was. The next day, Saturday, it dropped all the way down to the 20s. And, you know, of course I had a coat on, but when that weather changes like that, it hits you. And you're not really, it hits you real fast. And you're not really aware of the hitting of you. And then Sunday, I woke up and I was just like, oh, I can feel it all in my throat. It's just, But I've been taking medicine.
Yeah, because I can't tell you got a cold.
Yeah, it's starting to, because I've been taking the medicine twice a day and it's
working.
It's working. So I'm feeling much better than what I did on Sunday morning and Saturday night. I'm feeling much better. Because Saturday night, it started hitting me. I could feel it was coming on. But Sunday morning, I said, oh, when I woke up, I said, oh my God. But I still had to get up and go to church.
Yes. Last thing I need is another cold.
That's the last thing I need too.
Yeah.
It's a cold.
When I woke up Saturday, it was just freezing because I had the top and the bottom part open because I didn't know. It was just hot.
Yeah. And then
all of it was freezing. I mean, it took a while for my room to heat right back up. But yeah. But shout out to the Eagles. The Eagles this Sunday, they are playing in the NFC Championship game. And if they beat the Vikings on Sunday, the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl.
Do you think, oh, so it's just that one game that they have to play?
One more game they have to play.
Do you think that they're going to go to the Super Bowl?
You never know. I mean, I didn't even know we were going to make it this far.
Right. Me neither. Because I don't hate Eagles.
No, man. I didn't even know we were able to do this. And then we have a great quarterback, Carson Wentz, and everything. You know, he led us to like a 10-1 season, and then he got injured. And then Nick Foles took back over the team when he used to be the quarterback a couple of years ago. And he doesn't really have a flow with the team like Carson Wentz has with the team. So everybody just like, fuck it, you know, if we lose, we lose. But we believe in him. We're going to make it to the Super Bowl. And, bitch, we are one game away. And if this city's go back to the Super Bowl, you're not going to be able to tell nobody nothing from Sunday night until February the 4th. It's going to be crazy in Philadelphia. And, you know, I'm excited. They still not hyping it up like I thought they would be. It's still kind of quiet. But come this weekend, with all the pep rallies, everything, all the news is going to be talking about. And I just hope that we beat the Vikings. And the way the Vikings beat the Saints on Sunday, mind you, I was halfway asleep through it. But I thought the Saints was going to win. Because, you know, my friend from New Orleans, Daniel, he lives in there. He all hyping it up like, yeah, because, you know, we are a fourth quarter team. They might beat our ass, but we come back in the fourth quarter. They came back in the fourth quarter, was up by 2 points or 1 point, and then the other team on a fluke play caught the ball and ran it in for a touchdown. I know it's weird to hear me talk about sports, but I was surprised because I really thought it was going to be Eagles versus the Saints. But it wasn't, you know. It just wasn't happening. Then the guy that won, he just was thanking God, and he just was like, he was full of emotion, and he's like, this feels so damn good. And then he really burst out into tears and walked off. He just had to thank God. He was just...
So who's the other team that would be playing if the Eagles win?
If the Eagles...
Who would they be up against in the Super Bowl?
Either the Patriots or... Tampa Bay? I believe it's Tampa Bay.
Wasn't the Patriots just at the Super Bowl recently?
Yes, the Patriots always go. This day Southern championship game. I mean, they cheat to win, but I mean...
But they win.
But they win, and they're good. They're good.
Yeah, so...
The Jaguars, Jacksonville Jaguars. That's
it is what it is.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do you think that if the Eagles do make it to the Super Bowl, do you think they'll be able to...
We're going to need everybody. We're going to need everybody.
They will tear this city apart if the Eagles win.
Yeah.
They win.
Oh yeah.
Because the way those white folks down in South Philly,
I went down there when the Phillies won the World Series. I ran downtown.
I don't know why. I ran away from downtown.
It was a celebration, and I believe I have a video up. It was a celebration. That's our city came together.
When these teams win, like the Eagles or the Phillies or whatever the case may be, when they win a big game here in Philadelphia, these people come out in all directions. You never know downtown Center City is filled with thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and everybody are cheering. And you ever notice too, whenever we have stuff like that, you never hear on the news about anybody getting hurt, anybody getting robbed, anybody getting attacked.
Because everybody's so
just
happy.
Comes together and everybody's
black,
so
white,
happy.
Asian. I mean, everybody's hugging, throwing beer. Just everybody's having a good
that's
time.
what I don't like.
Yeah, and they're climbing up poles, shaking newsmen.
Yeah. Can you
Go ahead.
those white folks tear?
Yes, I mean I never seen us burning no cars and none of that stuff.
because we don't do that.
I mean, we get
Because it's too
upset,
close
but
to
not
burning
that
the cross.
upset. Not fucking up your own shit.
I'm not burning no car because it's too close to burning the cross. But I'm telling you right now, we don't do that. Stay away from fire. I'm telling you right now.
Yes.
South Philly, where all them Italian people live at near the stadium.
Yes.
If
Oh, they're gonna
win-
tear up. They're gonna tear up. Let them, and that's their neighborhood.
Yeah, let them. Yeah. Okay.
Because they already thought we was going to lose on the last play with the when we played the Falcons. They thought we was going to lose.
Just don't bring this shit up here.
Yeah.
And for those of you trying to figure out what I'm talking about, for those of you that don't live in Philly, in South Philly, where it's two parts of South Philly. It's the black side of South Philly, and then it's the Italian side. Am I lying? Mm-hmm. No.
I'm telling the truth.
The black part of South Philly is on this side of South Philly across the tracks, or whatever you want to call it. On the other side of Broad Street. No, because on the other side of Broad Street, it's still Italians. But then farther down, near Grace Ferry, is where all the blacks live at. Yeah. But near the stadium, where the Eagles play and where the arena's at, where all the concerts are held at down there, that's where all the Italians live at, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let them tear up. Yeah, the mobsters too.
mobsters.
We got a lot of Philly mobsters.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
Remember that?
That's why I went
the two teenagers that got killed. They went back and shot that guy house up. They was like, "Oh no, you're not gonna get away with this killing."
The black teenager and the white teenager?
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
They had mobster ties.
Yeah, but I don't want nobody shooting up no house.
No.
But you shouldn't have killed those two little boys
No,
up there.
shouldn't.
You shouldn't have killed those two
You know
little
they
boys.
don't play.
They don't play. And you know what? It's not right. But the mob people down there don't play. You and those two little boys, they were teenagers, and I can't say what they got into or what they didn't get into, but whatever they got into, it wasn't warranted for them to be killed. Yeah, you don't do that to people.
And that guy was older than them that shot and killed them.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, them mob people don't play that. And them Koreans too.
But wait.
Because they coming up down there too.
I know about that part.
Yeah, they are.
See,
and they coming up with the money and stuff. You should be seeing them in Vanity when they be throwing all this money there. Oh yeah, we'll talk after that.
What's Vanity?
The strip club.
Oh, I don't be there. And I'm surprised you're there. Vanity. Yeah. So
that's where you go get them at after.
Yes, okay.
Listen.
Wait.
When they leaving the club because they still horny.
Ooh. And that's what I was looking for right there on the fucking floor. Hold on. A mess.
Because they can't do nothing with the dancers.
How you know?
You want to ride? You got a couple dollars.
Oh, you they type, huh?
Listen,
nice
when they perked up, got that liquor in them.
Oh no, they got all that goes on that van. What's the?
I didn't say in Vanity.
Outside of Vanity.
Listen, the let out.
But look, make sure your husband's.
I'll play
You
the
see
let
him in
out.
front. Don't be in nobody's phone.
Let me tell you something. I'll play the let out. The let out, yeah, you can let this out after you pay me.
Woo-wee! So shout out to our Philadelphia Eagles. I know it's been a tough football season with the kneeling and stuff like that, but I'm just happy for our team and I'm happy for our city because it's been crazy and it took a while to get our first murder this year. It took a couple days, which is unheard of. It probably was too damn cold. But I just hope that this year our city just does amazing things and where's the mayor? I haven't really seen him like that, But shout out to our city. Yeah, he's low key.
Yeah, I seen him at the funeral.
Cause what funeral?
The firefighters.
Oh yeah. That was sad too.
Yeah, that was sad.
Saving somebody in the house collect.
Did the other person survive though?
He
right?
died.
The other person died too? Because I know they got him to the hospital.
Yeah, they got him to the hospital, but he died at the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, that was sad.
A wall collapsed, right? Or part of the house.
Something, either the floor collapsed or I don't know. Something collapsed, and they said that he was trapped for 30 minutes.
He's gone.
Yeah, he had a big funeral too. They always be at the church when
the basilica.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If I'm a firefighter and don't have mine at the basilica.
Well, you're not a Catholic, so you wouldn't have a Catholic funeral.
No.
Where you wanted that? E9?
No. Well, I was going to say if you can have it, because my church is big too, but it probably wouldn't be big enough to hold all those people. No. So probably E9, because E9 is the big church here in Philly. But yeah.
That's not
or Deliverance.
All right, that's changed.
But I wouldn't want to have it at Deliverance.
I mean, it's not bad, but
yeah, Deliverance is nice.
That was my first time in there.
That was my first time too. At Jamal's funeral, that was my first time in there too. It's really nice and big in there.
And T.D. Jakes was there one time. He filled that whole church. Yeah. By the way, if you live in my area, Tasty Cakes are $1 next door.
I've been known to fill a few churches.
I'm gonna move on. Listen, I'm gonna move on. Aziz Ansari. Now, on Saturday night, there was this story that came out on babe.net. Now, first of all, I don't even like that name of that website. But this lady, she did an interview with a girl who, see, if I say what I really want to say as a man, I might lose a lot of subscribers. So I'm going to keep it cute. So this lady, because I need nobody coming for me. Because if it's something I understand, I'm going to say it. But I have a lot of questions. So I'm going to give you all the spiel of this, right? Or speed it up. So the woman who remains anonymous, she met Aziz at one of those award shows, right? He had a funny, one of them old kind of Polaroid cameras or whatever kind of camera, and he noticed that she had the same thing. They started flirting with each other, talking and stuff like that. They exchanged numbers. They go to New York. They go out. You know, in between time, they texting and sending flirty messages back and forth. She revealed the text messages, which she said after everything that happened, but she didn't reveal what happened before. So I want to see those text messages with the flirty. Yeah, I want to see the flirty text messages. So they go on a date and whatever like that. And they were drinking wine. I think they were drinking white wine or red wine. At this point, it doesn't matter. So after they go out on their little date, they end up going back to Aziz's apartment in one of them big-time apartment buildings. And while she's there, she was talking about, you got a nice countertop. And he was like, yeah, you should sit up on there and stuff like that. You know how. You know. So she was like, yeah, he was kissing her and sticking her. Now, I never heard this shit before. He stuck, now this is going to get graphic, get your kids out the room. He stuck his fingers down her throat and into her vagina. And it's
that's not possible.
I've never, listen.
You can't stick your fingers in somebody's throat and make it all the way to their vagina.
No.
I tried.
One top and one at the bottom.
I tried. But,
bitch, shut
up! It was a messy scene. Okay. What is going on?
Stop! So,
and I've been known to stick my finger in a few places.
No! Boy! Touch my body.
Touch this body. But don't make a mess.
Oh my God. You can make a mess, but it's not in certain areas.
You can make a mess from the neck down.
And don't go anywhere where there's an insert at.
Okay, listen, because we don't play this kind of game.
No,
because you're not paying me enough. Okay? This is tax season, so I know you get that check.
You'll be working overtime.
I'll tell him in a minute. If you're generous, I'll be generous.
I can't.
And
wait, so let me finish before we get off track.
Yeah, because that took me back to 2 weeks ago.
Wait.
And I have proof.
Show me. Pull it up while I talk.
Woo! Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So she was saying that she said that she was like feeling a little bit uncomfortable, like while he was doing stuff like that. He also kept putting her hand on his penis about 7 times. Like she would move her hands away while he was up close, kissing her and stuff like that. So she said this was all non-verbal, but he should have got the hint that sex is not what she wanted. But she was also saying that they should slow down because he was like, "Let me go get the condom," and she was like, "Hold, hold." Who's that white man? I didn't even know you was down like that.
He's a fucking liar.
Who is that? You really are getting
that. Wait, that bitch. That's not me. That person has.
But who is that?
Don't worry about it.
That's
hold on. Wait.
Oh no, mama. Who is that your hand?
Yes, bitch. Who else's hand would it be? The fuck? You tried to get that your hand.
Wait, if y'all, I'm gonna shut up. Okay, so
this is 54.
54 from Vine. Don't let that leak. That's why you do it on your phone, not doing it on their phone. So she was saying like she was giving all kinds of hints, like, you know, not right now, maybe another time, stuff like that. But see, this is my thing. I don't know if he was intoxicated. She never indicated that. But if y'all were drinking, you never know what could have been going on. He's horny. She said he was acting like a horny teenager. Girl, then that's my thing. What do you expect if you're going out with someone? You're going to their house.
Wait, question. So let's back this up a little. It wasn't somebody that he just randomly met one night and then started.
It was.
No, I'm saying he didn't randomly meet her one night and then tried to have sex with her that same night.
No.
This is somebody that he met. They were communicating over time. They went out. You said. They went out during overtime.
Yeah.
Then one night,
that same night they went out on a date. She ended up going back to his apartment,
which usually happens when you go out on a date. Sometimes. Now, I'm not saying that means that you should try to rape somebody, but it does usually happen because sometimes I like to go back to houses on after a date. Hell, I like to go back to houses after a dollar store run. But it's just me. If you're paying, I'll go. But listen, so she's saying that he was drinking.
She said he was drinking.
They both were
drinking. But I don't know how many drinks. Like, he could have been drinking probably before.
Right.
Or he could have been drinking just during. Like, I don't know. But whatever that may be, like, to me, the signals got mixed. Because clearly he knew what he wanted. He went down. I left out some details. Now, if she didn't really want it, he went down on her. She went down on him. But... Now, he ate her out and then she sucked his thing.
But that's confusing me because a lot of times when that happens, especially during rape, it's forced.
Yeah.
A woman giving a man fellatio, she's being forced to do that. She may be being forced to do that at gunpoint, knife point. She may be being forced, not even with a weapon, but just with words saying, I will do this to you and your family if you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is kind of strange.
Yeah, she never attempted to leave. She said that he offered her more wine. I guess the wine was to make her more comfortable. And she said she was in the bathroom for like 5 minutes. She never said anything like she was afraid. And she never said no. She figured if she used nonverbal cues that he would get her message. Well, maybe he just like, maybe she just playing hard to get some. I'm gonna get this, you know.
Right. Because I think at that moment, if you don't want it, don't use non-verbal cues. Use verbal.
No.
Because it could be, some people, especially when you've been drinking or you're high, you may think, oh, they're just playing hard to get. Because we've all been in that situation where either we played hard to get or the person we were with was playing hard to get. And then it ends up y'all having a great time after the hard to get role is over.
Yeah.
But were they in communication after this?
Yes.
They were still in communication.
Yeah, so they ended up watching TV, but she was still saying like he was still trying to touch on her and stuff like that. And she ended up getting an Uber and crying in the Uber home and stuff like that. And then he sent her a text message the next day, and then she followed back by saying like how uncomfortable she was and how he made her feel, and that she had to cry in the ride home. And then he sent her back like he didn't get those vibes from her, and he apologized to her. Now, once he apologized to you, like you didn't send a text message back or anything, but now you mad that he accepted an award and that he supported the women of the Me Too movement. So that was the reason why she's coming up. But see, they are tearing this thing up.
It doesn't, and I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but this story doesn't make sense to me because I feel like you did something with this man. It sounds like you were with it, but you were just uncomfortable because you were like, I don't know if I'm with it right now, whatever the case may be. But it sounds like you were with it. After you did it, you kind of had second thoughts about doing it. He apologized to you. He told you, well, I didn't get that vibe from you or anything like that. But if that's how you felt, I do apologize. But now it sounds like now you're like, oh, all up in arms about it. And to me, that doesn't make sense. And I feel like a lot of people out there are taking advantage of this Me Too situation. My pastor spoke on this too about a month ago, and he was just telling the congregation, like, you know, it's unfortunate because, you know, for us men, it's now becoming to the point as men, you don't even know if you even want to give a female a compliment.
Amen.
And he said, and I mean the whole church yelled amen, because he said it's like now, if you give a female a compliment, it's like you don't know if they're going to take it and run and say, oh, he's sexually harassing me. You know what I mean? And so he's like, you know, it's kind of like weird and unfortunate, you know. And he was just telling the men in the congregation, he said, men, please be very careful. Do not, you know, don't, basically just be careful with your words and be careful with your actions, because now you don't even know. He said, you know, as men, we like to, you know, show our women affection or whatever the case may be, but you know, and he was explaining too, he was like, this is how you get your woman. You show them affection, you give them compliments, but he's like, now in today's world, you don't even know if you want to give a woman a compliment, because now everybody's talking about, oh, I feel sexually harassed, and it's like, well, what the hell? And I feel like that's kind of the situation right here. Like, I feel like it was one of those things that she did something with him, she kind of regret doing something with him, but now she's saying that he forced her to do it, and it's like, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's just,
like, I'm not buying this particular story. This one I'm not buying. I think that sometimes you kind of have to pinpoint what is real and what is not. And I think that with this, I don't know. It just seems like, you know, especially after he told her, like, I apologize. Like, I didn't know that you felt that way. But if you did feel that way, I sincerely apologize. But
yeah, because she didn't say anything about feeling forced to do anything.
And she said it out of her own mouth that she didn't tell him she felt uncomfortable. She just thought by signs. No, if you feel uncomfortable, say something. Don't just think that somebody's going to assume that you don't want it, especially if they've been drinking. Because in his mind, he's drinking, you're drinking, both of y'all are doing things. So yeah, you want the same thing I want.
Yeah.
It can't be no, like, come on, like, oh, come on.
Yeah, but you know, somebody wrote me and was like, you know, it is, you know, when you're in that kind of situation, that brings a whole new element to the table of, you know, how to talk. That needs to be talked about. You know, just when you're in that setting, like what to do, because some women still feel afraid to say no.
But then but see, that's the thing.
Like, she didn't go to the police about it.
But see, that's the thing that bothers me. That's the thing that bothers me, and I have to say this. That is the thing. One of the things that bothers me when they say that some people are just afraid to say no, because I feel like, especially when you're an adult, because kids are a different story. Kids are going to really be afraid to say no because they're smaller. Somebody's an adult. They feel overpowered. They feel like they have no power because they're a child. So I get it. But I feel like sometimes with an adult, I feel like that's somewhat of an excuse in some cases, because I think if you're afraid to say no, but then you go ahead and you do it anyway, how on earth are you then turning around the next day and saying, well, they forced me to do it, when you didn't tell them no? You understand what I'm saying? I didn't say no, I didn't want it. I didn't say, no, Kevin, I don't want you on top of me. I just laid there and let you get on top of me and do your business. But then the next day, I'm like, oh, he forced me to do it. But did you tell him you didn't want to have sex? No, I didn't say anything. Well, then how was he supposed to know you don't want it?
Yeah, but she was saying something like her body shut down, and I've never been in that state.
Neither have I, but I'm sorry, but I just feel like sometimes you have to use your mouth. Because I would understand, if I would be 100% on this woman's side if she said, I told him no. I think the liquor kind of overtook him. Even after me telling him no, then I would say, you know what? She told him no, and that right there, he should have stopped. But she said she didn't tell him anything. She just went along with it, and then the next day, I felt uncomfortable, and yeah. Like, come on. Like, you can't do that to people, because now you got people at home thinking like, okay, well, I had a good time last night with her. And then she texted me, oh, you made me feel so uncomfortable. And I'm reading the text like, but you were with it. Like, how? How did I make you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, I mean, there's been times I did stuff and I was uncomfortable, but I never felt
like, oh, I was forced to do it.
No, but there are such things as bad dates and bad hookups and just shit you just regret. Like, oh, what was I thinking? Stuff like that. But yeah, this story right here, I just felt some kind of way about it. I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna put Aziz Ansari in this box where he's out there like physically abusing.
Because it doesn't sound like that.
Now I'm like, will there be more stories? And I mean, because once one come out,
and then you don't. And now it's to the point now, Kevin, that you feel like you don't. And my pastor made perfect sense when he said it. it's getting to the point now that you don't even know what's true and what's not true because you got so many people saying so many different things. It's now putting men on edge that they're like, I don't even want to say nothing to a female because I don't want the female to think that I'm coming out the wrong way. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You can't even say, oh wow, you look nice, because then the next day, oh, I felt harassed, I felt uncomfortable, and you be like, now I'm in the office about to lose my job because I know somebody that look nice. Because all it takes is for that one female to go to the boss and say, well, he made me feel uncomfortable. I don't know why he told me I look nice. And now you in the office about to lose your job, trying to fight for your job, because you thinking to yourself, I just told her she looks nice because she looked nice.
Yep. Every company needs to evaluate their sexual harassment.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, how? Like that. It's getting ridiculous. It's really getting ridiculous now.
And people also were upset with Mark Wahlberg. Because of what happened with Michelle Williams. They did a movie, All the Money in the World, where they had to eliminate Kevin Spacey from the film, and they hired a new actor to take over for Kevin Spacey's roles. But when you do a movie like that, you got to do reshoots.
Right.
Now, in Michelle Williams' contract, she did not have a clause to get paid to do reshoots. It was in there for her to do reshoots. And Mark Wahlberg's contract, there was no clause for him to do reshoots.
So meaning he wanted to get paid.
Yeah, his agent was like, yeah, you got to pay him because it's not in there.
Right.
So they agreed to $1.5 million. Now, the director of the film, he was going around saying, like, everybody did the reshoots,
and didn't want no money.
Nobody except no money. Yeah. But he said nobody wanted money. Everybody did it for free. And he said he was just glad that everybody was open to doing the reshoots and stuff like that. So Michelle Williams got a per diem thing where she got paid $80 a day, so that was about $1,000. Right. And Mark Wahlberg got $1.5 million. So when the story came out, USA Today broke about what happened, saying that they both work for William Morris, but I guess their agents
are two different agents, and one agent is a little bit better than the other.
Yeah, and so then people was like, well, even I posted like, well, why the fuck is she getting them when I got down to the nitty gritty? Like, okay, now I see what's going on. So now Mark Wahlberg, not trying to be the bad guy, he donates $1.5 million to the Me Too movement, and also William Morris donated $1.5 million. So they got $3 million in the name of Michelle Williams to the Me Too movement because of one person having a smart agent by having no reshoots to the contract versus having reshoots.
And I don't think, and I agree 110% with Mark Wahlberg. If I have to do a reshoot because of Kevin Spacey's actions, yes, you have to pay me. And no, Mark Wahlberg should not have had to have donated his money, even though that's what he wanted to do. But he should not have had to do it. If I have to do a reshoot because Kevin Spacey got fired because he's out here messing with little boys, then yes, you need to pay me. Because I have to basically reshoot this film all over again.
Yeah. It's just
and how
it could be getting out of hand with stuff like this.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. This whole thing is out of hand. And then how dare y'all be upset because Michelle Williams and I, we're under the same I know. We're under the same agency, but yet my representative is a little bit better than hers. Well then maybe Michelle needs to hire my representative. You talking about $8 a day and I get $1.5 million, yeah, something's not right on that. But Mark Wahlberg did the exact thing I would have done. Yes, you have to pay me. Because while I'm doing this reshoot, I could be out there shooting another movie.
Amen.
But now I have to take time to do this all over again.
Thanksgiving weekend.
Right.
$1.5 million.
So I have to do this all over again when I could be on another set shooting another movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense how he was made out to be the bad guy in that situation. No. If anybody was the bad guy, it was Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey should have known what the fuck he was doing 30-something years ago when he was messing with that 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, you shouldn't touch no boys. You shouldn't touch nobody that's underage.
Right. You don't do that.
You like them. You wait till they're 18 and over, and they're still too young for me because they dumb. Like I think y'all know how we feel about that. When you're 18, you think you're grown, you know what you're doing. No, bitch, you're still a child. So no, there's nothing sexy about that to me. So not at all. That you better be 25 or older.
I mean, it just
doesn't, when I'm 40, I'm like, I was still stupid at 25.
It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense to me that story. But yeah, next.
Yeah. So Donald Trump and the shitholes controversy. So we all know that they're all trying to work out on this DACA thing. And Donald Trump sits at the table and says, why do we have to have people come from shithole countries like Haiti and Africa. Well, Africa is not a country; it's a continent. But why do we have to have people come from Africa and come from Haiti and El Salvador and some of the other Latin American commercial countries? Why can't we have more people come from places like Norway and other European countries? Why do we have to have people come here from shithole countries? And I mean, CNN, MSNBC, this is like right after we recorded, it was the biggest thing on TV all weekend. And I'm mad that I was late about it. But, you know, Donald Trump, can you really be shocked that he said that? Hell no. Imagine the other things that he say laying in bed next to Melania.
But then I heard that they don't even sleep in the same room.
Yeah, well, you know what? Would you want to sleep with that?
No.
Can you imagine? Can you just picture this? Melania going down on Trump. Like, come on. Ugh. It's not happening.
She's there for a check. Yeah. And I don't blame her.
And she don't want to be at the White House.
No.
She don't want to be there.
Because if Nene was there for a Trump check, can you imagine what kind of Trump check Melania's getting?
Well, she got a whole son. That's a whole Trump check and a half.
Okay. That's a whole... I'll never have to do anything ever again.
Yeah, she don't. Child support.
And she's playing her role very well.
Doing nothing.
I'm just showing up.
Yeah, and heels. I'm showing up to go to Houston.
But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you one thing. One thing's for certain, two things for sure. Girlfriend can dress.
Yes.
She can dress her ass off.
Yes.
She's very stylish. I'm not going to say, well, she is more stylish than Michelle Obama. She is. Because Michelle Obama had style, but Michelle Obama had like a style, like a mom type of style. Melania Trump is stylish. Yeah, she can dress, okay? She can dress. And she don't wear kitten heels. Sometimes Michelle Obama did have on kitten heels, and I dare y'all to say she didn't, because I'll pull up every last picture of her in kitten heels.
Oh my God!
Don't do it. She did have kitten heels on. You know, Michelle Obama was cute in her little J. Crew and all that, but Melania Trump is a different kind of style. When she walks in the room, bitch, you like, damn, bitch, you was wearing that. And then she's a model, so you know she's standing there with that. That serious look on her face, you know. And it's nothing to take away from Michelle Obama, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. And I think tomorrow Michelle's birthday, it's coming up.
And it's just like when people were saying that Michelle Obama, when she was in the White House, they felt like she was more stylish than Jackie Kennedy. Wrong. If you thought that she was more stylish than Jackie Kennedy, then you obviously didn't see Jackie Kennedy's style. Her style. You didn't follow that. Jackie Kennedy was a style maven icon in that White House. She knew how to dress. Not saying that Michelle Obama didn't, but Michelle Obama had a different type of style.
They was trying to make sure she wasn't being too above her, you know.
But I feel like Michelle Obama's style was perfect for her because she gave off that mom.
Yeah, you know, and they didn't want her to act like she was more rich than other moms out here.
Because what's the name?
And they did that for her inauguration.
Back in the 80s, Nancy Reagan got a lot of flack for that because they were saying, but see, this is the thing, and Nancy Reagan explained it too some years ago. A lot of designers were sending her stuff. Now, see, this is my thing. I feel like if somebody has style, if they have style and they are stylish, they have style. Why are people criticizing them because they have style?
Because Nancy Reagan with their nose up above people.
No, but that's not always the case. You may think you think that, but that may not be always the case. Nancy Reagan had style. She would dress in designer clothes, designer gowns, but her whole thing was designers would send me these clothes. They would send me things, and if they didn't send, I bought them because I had money. You know, she was a former actress. Her husband was a former actor. They had money. Like, you know, if this is what she liked, then this is what she liked. This is what she wanted to pay for. And a lot of people used to criticize her about her fashion choices, but this was her style. Michelle Obama, I thought Michelle Obama's style worked perfect for her because it was that mom look, but she just made it work for her. It just was so well put together. But I certainly wouldn't say Michelle Obama's style was better than
But she definitely got more class than all of them girls.
Yeah, Michelle Obama, but see, also too, Michelle Obama's personality is what sets it off too. Yeah. She has a great personality.
That's my girl. I miss just seeing her just out there and talking.
I feel like if Melania Trump had a personality, more people probably. I thought that was us.
Yeah, that was us.
No, I'm saying I thought that was us right now because you got the blue shirt on, but then I realized I ain't got that outfit. But I feel like if she had a personality, more people probably, you know. But she doesn't have a personality. She's just real, like the.
She plays her part.
She plays her part quiet.
Yeah, because Trump won't get on her later. Yeah, and she slaps his hand. Like that's not a loving couple that's in the White House right now, and you can tell. Yeah, she's just there. The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I had a chance to watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta
So
on
did
Sunday.
I.
It was a mess. Mbele.
Who is her?
Mbele.
Mbele.
Cousin. Listen. She was looking for a show on there.
She was looking for a check.
Yeah.
And she's trying to get her own show.
Yeah.
But it's not going to work because I'm not going to watch.
No, I wouldn't watch it either. Because she's fake and she's phony.
Yes, she is. And Nene, how dare you hire her to be a part? Nene, you know better.
Yeah. Well, you know that.
I don't shake hands. I hug.
Yeah, and she was bitch. She's an Escape fan because she damn sure hugged Kandi when she came in. Talking about Kandi, give me a hug, girl. Yes, let's hug.
No, I don't. No, she hugged, but she was saying I don't shake hands. Yeah. But remember, she shook Cynthia's and Nene's hand.
Yeah, and bravo, y'all shady for showing that.
No, they're not. You're right. Got together because she's a fake medium.
Yeah, but you know, I'm glad to see that there's some other drama going on besides Kenya and not Kenya. Besides Portia and Nene, because that storyline is now tired. They both act stupid when they talk about it. Yeah, now let's hear about Kenya and not Kenya. It's too many names. Too many names. What's her name? Kandi and Kim, and them going at it and stuff.
Kandi and Kim.
Yes, because bitch, they was going at it on Twitter.
Oh yeah. That's because of what Kim said.
Yeah, but you know what though? Nobody cares if Kandi and Todd are swingers. Okay?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. And if they swing it and whoever they swing with, if they enjoy it, I love it. Okay? But Kandi, don't let it fuck up your business. And I noticed that everybody is slandering Kandi every season. Who's in her house, who's in her bed, who's buying bedroom candy, who Todd fucking like. Y'all always coming at Kandi. Kandi always gonna have money outside of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I feel like they all are hating on her. It is not like, if anybody should be concerned about what Ty and Kandi do, it's Riley. Otherwise, y'all mind your business.
Mind your business. You're right.
They are adults.
I agree.
Like, shit, if they pay me enough, I might join that.
Oh,
I might. Shit, I ain't lying. I need a couple coins.
listen.
So,
Yeah, but when I say it, I'm a whore.
well, you are. And you own it, so.
Well, I mean,
listen, what you do.
You only come around this way one time. I need something to talk about when they put me in that grave. Listen, this is what I did. This is how I did it.
With Todd than with Kandi, though. Yeah. And he don't even do nothing for me. But I'm just saying, a check is a check.
A check is a check is a check.
So for Kim to get up on Twitter talking about, yeah, you afraid to say that you're a swinger and this is the house that I built. No, Kim, you did not build the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That was a show that Nene built.
Yeah.
You played a little part, but you weren't on. And then nobody go around saying they missed you.
And when you left, Nene still held that show together.
Yes. And Kandi also kept that show together because she's the only one that had real storylines. Her and Miss Joyce also kept that fucking show running. Then Kandi had her aunts in there. Then she was messing with the guy that died, and the mom didn't really like him like that. Then she started messing with Ty. Then she started bringing the mom in. Miss Sharon came in. Then Miss Sharon and Miss Joyce was going at it and stuff like that. And Kandi always had a spinoff of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Either she's on a ski trip or a dumbass music show. She did the damn thing while you and Croy are doing somewhere else and you're unemployed somewhere. You know, so don't come at Kandi.
Who even pays attention to Croy?
Nobody. And for what? I mean, they got a bunch of kids. Their kids seem to be like they taken care of. They got a nice house. But Kim, like, come on. Like, I like you, but come on. Like, don't come for Kandi. Right. Like, nobody should be coming for Kandi. She don't fuck with none of y'all like that. Y'all fuck with her.
But I think Kim's whole thing is Kandi, let's not. Yeah, but I agree with you. Don't. Yeah. But I think that's what her whole thing is.
Yeah, she's mad.
And then, you know, Scrappy chimed in too on the Shade Room. But I think Scrappy was chiming in. I think Scrappy was chiming in defense of Kandi, not saying basic. But I think a lot of people took it as what his comment was like. Oh, she does mess around like that. But I don't think what he was saying.
But again, that's their business.
Right.
Like, they are married. This was between them and God and whoever they having sex with.
Yeah, I agree.
Mind your business.
I agree.
It's not like she's out there advertising. I haven't seen one.
Yeah, because there's some people that advertise.
Yeah, and they say that.
Thank you.
They say like They say my favorite Instagrammer, Will Smith and Jada.
But I never
said that they. Now who knows? Who cares?
Yeah, I never believed that though. I just never believed that.
But you know what though? Expect the unexpected because you just never know what anybody and what these couples are out here doing. to keep it together and keep it spicy.
But I think that when they said something about they have an open relationship, I think that people misunderstood. I think people took that as being open like swingers, but I think that they were saying we have an open relationship where as though we talk and we discuss everything that's going on. We don't have any secrets with each other. I think that's what they were referring to. Not an open relationship.
Husband.
Not an open relationship where we just sleep with everybody. Because I can't see Will Smith and Jada Pinkett saying that. I think that they meant we have an open relationship. We discuss everything. We don't have any secrets from each other. This is how we've lasted for 20 years. But people took that open relationship and just ran with it. And I still to this day never believe that. Because, like I can't, no. No, I don't see it.
But these things you just never know who swinging with who husband swinging with who husband. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it like that because you just never know. And Miss Paris Jackson, you are dumb. You are Michael Jackson's daughter, right? I don't care who's hitchhiking these streets of LA. You don't stop your car for nobody and let them in. If they not laying there like shot or something, you don't let nobody in your car that you don't know because you don't know what may happen. What if they find out or just discover or just see that you are Michael Jackson's daughter and they try to kill you? It will probably do worse. Well, worse is death. But they robbed her for a wallet. They took a wallet out of her car.
They probably didn't realize who she was.
No.
At that top. But I think if they would have realized, they would have had her for ransom.
Yeah.
You think they wouldn't? I know they would have.
Yeah, that's stupid. Like, that was the dumb Jackson move right there. Like, that, I mean, the Jacksons do some dumb stuff.
I mean, look what her father did with the little brother.
Yeah.
He hung the blanket out the...
Yeah. And they came at Michael for a long time for that.
Well, they should have, because he shouldn't have did that. He could have dropped that baby, Kevin. Yeah, why would you do that? Who does that?
Yeah. So, you know,
that's kind of like, too, I don't like when I see people throwing babies up in the air.
Oh, I like the toss little kids.
I'm not a fan of it.
But not little babies.
Because I feel like some people do
too much. And too high.
And too high. And then you got some silly people who will do something or something may scare you and you're supposed to catch the baby and you get scared. Ooh. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like stuff like that. Don't toss no baby in the air in front of me. Don't do that. A baby, a child, period. Don't do it.
Excuse me.
Don't do it. Not in front of me.
And so you won't be tossing chasing?
I won't be chasing them. No, I don't toss kids. I'll toss them out the room. Sit your ass down.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yes, you know that was a hit over the weekend.
What was?
When you was talking about beating the children.
Yeah, well, it's the truth. Like I said, sometimes personal stories can be funny and when you get older. Yeah. But that's how my mother did me. Sit down, or I will knock you down. Amen. And you don't want the latter, because if I knock you down, you're not getting back up for a while.
And happy 70th birthday to Miss Evelyn Braxton. She turned 70 over the weekend, and she had a nice little party. I seen some of the pictures online, so shout out to her. Today is Aaliyah's 39th birthday. Shout out to Aaliyah. A lot of people was asking the same question about, do you think she would still be around? Yeah, but maybe more for acting more than music. Yeah.
Because her acting, I think, was she was popping off in that acting too.
Yeah. And I think she would have suffered the same fate just like Maya, Monica, Brandy. Like, she would have found sales-wise, musically, you know, it's not popping in that right now.
Because those women that you named were kind of big.
Yeah, they all were big at the same time.
Kind of big, but a little bit bigger, especially than Aaliyah. Because Brandy was the biggest at that time. Brandy had TVs, movies, dolls, music, and then her career suffered tremendously in the early to mid 2000s. Like, so yeah. And then look at Maya. I follow her on Instagram, and I love Maya. I really do. God knows I do. But I follow her on Instagram, and sometimes I be like, why don't I follow her? Because when she's performing at certain places, she's performing the same songs from the 90s. Take me there. I want to go. And you be thinking like, okay, Maya, but
it's time for a new song.
You ever get like that? Why am I following this person? And then sometimes when her name pops up and it's not a picture of her, I'll be like, who the hell is this? And then I click on the page and I'm like, oh, it's Maya.
Yeah, sorry. Somebody like that I see on Facebook I'm about to delete. I'm just be like, why are we even friends? Yeah. There's a show on Showtime. Did you get a chance to watch it?
What?
The Shy?
No, I haven't watched, but luckily it's 2 episodes, so I'm gonna get.
Yes.
I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna watch the first episode tonight.
Yes. I'm away from Mikkel to watch it because that's a show I really want to discuss. It's based in Chicago, and so far on the show there has been 2 murders, and you get to see the lives of the people around the murders that happen and how it affects them. And you see that they got the little children got their little storyline, the adults have their storyline, and they're all intertwined into one. And I love this show, and I get mad at the end of each episode because it just be like, bitch, I want more. Like, what the fuck? Like, why is it going off? And shout out to Lena Waite. They are like 45 minutes to an hour. Who she wrote this show, and she's executive producer with Common. So she's been doing, the little talk show rounds and stuff like that. It's like things are looking good for you. I'm happy for you. I fucking love this show. It comes on Showtime. If you don't have Showtime or you want to watch it, you can watch it on Showtime on demand, I believe. And there was one episode on YouTube. I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but The Shy is really a great show, and it's nothing like, like how you get a black show and you try to compare it to The Wire or The Corner. It's nothing like that. It's everything that I described about the murders and the people it affects around them. Like, it's a really great show. So far from what I've seen, but so far that's what the storyline is, because we only on 2 episodes. And that, first of all, the end of the second episode, oh my God. Like, bitch, never mind, I can't talk about it. But I want y'all to watch The Shy. And I asked some of y'all who wanted some shout outs. Shout out to the sponsors. The sponsors who want some shout outs. Shout out to Jay Urquhart, Andrew LaRose, and I told you, he asked me about the Virgin thing. I said, we already answered that question in the last video. You gotta catch up.
He asked us the question about the Virgin thing and didn't even watch it?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good conversation.
Yes, it was.
That's what my answer was. How he asked and didn't even watch. But I bet you'll see the shout out.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
Authentic. How many shares did we end with the last video? We got 91 shares on Twitter. So we almost got 100. Shout out to everybody who retweeted that video. Ebony Hamilton, have y'all been watching 911? I watched one episode, I DVR'd the second one. That's what Angela Bassett.
Rescue 911.
Bitch, you. That used to be my show! Bitch, that used to be the show back in the day.
And if you don't know what Rescue 911 is, you're too young. You're just too young. Rescue 911 was before First 48, before all these other shows that people stuck in the house. That was the show. Okay? And you can find some episodes on YouTube. You can. And I mean, you watch it now, because like last year I found myself watching 2 episodes of it on YouTube, right? And I'm watching it and I'm like, damn, this not even as scary as it was when you was a kid. Because when it used to come on, it used to get this opening song used to be scary because you'd have the clips of the people in danger. Rescue 911. If you're a child, if you're young, you know what Rescue 911 is, pull your mother or father and say,
tried it. I was not even... Yes.
Yeah, that's Robert Stack. No, not Robert Stack.
That's William Shatner.
Yeah, William Shatner. Robert Stack. Oh, from Unsolved Mysteries. That's Robert Stack.
Yeah, that was my show too.
That was a show too. Okay.
Before all of these,
Google up the show.
But my show is Snap though. Before Snap, you had Unsolved Mysteries.
You had Rescue 911.
8 hours. Rescue 911, Dateline, NBC. ABC don't really got one. They got 2020.
The original Cops.
That's the first reality show ever.
Because this new version of Cops they be showing is not as good.
I don't even watch
as
it.
me.
The Fox version. Yes.
Yeah, the Fox version. Okay.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Yeah. Okay. What? Why? That was the show. And what was the other one with The one with
America's Most Wanted?
Yeah, wait, that was the one with the guy who lost his child.
Yeah, John Walsh.
John Walsh. Yeah, that was good too.
I used to love Fox from 8 to 10 on Saturday
That's
nights.
when you watch Fox.
Okay. I still watch it sometimes. Mainly for the news.
That's when Fox had shit on Fox.
Yes. Local news. But this 911 show with Angela Bassett,
Is it good?
it's great.
Okay.
You get to see the lives police officers and firefighters and the 911 operator. And they be having all kinds of shit. Babies in the drain. Somebody tried to commit suicide. Well, they jumped, bitch. Somebody committed suicide. People, you know, firefighters having sex and stuff like. Oh, it's crazy. And then when the husband is gay, so they got a whole lot going on the show. But I like it. If Mikkel watched these shows, I would love to talk about it. But if you don't watch them, bitch, I'm still gonna talk about them.
Yeah, still talk about
Because I'm gonna do a little segment.
Because you know, I be catching up on other stuff.
Yeah,
like
I
catch up
you
on
would
like
love 911.
documentaries and stuff too. Go ahead. What are we on now?
Oh yeah, the shower. Wait, let me go back. I was gonna play a bad boy thing, but I don't need them to shut my channel down.
We talked about all this stuff, didn't we?
No, we ain't get the. Kim and Kanye had a baby. Angela Rye's gonna show on BET.
That lady carrying the baby had a baby.
Simone Biles admitted that nasty ass, which the trainer was touching her too. The guy that got convicted.
What trainer?
The U.S. Olympic.
Oh,
trainer.
the Olympic trainer. Oh
Yes,
yeah, I saw
He
that.
felt up on all the girls.
Yeah.
She admitted it, and I believe he's about to be sentenced. He's already been sentenced for 60 years for child porn. So he's still going to trial for other stuff. We talked about Marc Wahlberg. We talked about Doctor. You know what? Y'all all being petty. It's about to be a new movement, a new party or something. Because Democrats and Republicans, y'all can't get it together. Now y'all want to scratch it. You scratch my back, I'm going to scratch yours. Do it for the American people, not because you're a Republican or Democrat. Do it because this is America. Do it because immigrants came from all over to come here. Y'all stole a land that wasn't even yours, and y'all don't even got none of the Indians in there asking them what they think they should do with the people that come here. But y'all want to tell people who can come here, who can't come here, and what shithole they come from, and shit they can do.
Yeah.
With it.
And ain't that some shit? They ain't even got Indians up in there.
No.
And they took the land from them.
Yeah, and they still try to take land from them.
Yeah. And Trump had nerve to that guy that day. Yeah, because Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Then why would you say it to those two old Indian men? Then why would you say
Because he's that dickhead. And then his doctor had the nerve to come on TV.
Tell us everything's normal.
Yeah,
no,
he's 6'3" and 239
I didn't know he was that
pounds.
tall.
He's not no fucking 239 pounds.
And I didn't know he was that tall.
Yeah, I'm
6'3".
But he's 6'3".
But he needs
75 inches of 6'3". Yeah.
The 75 inches of what?
Who's that tall? He's 75 inches. Bitch, now you know.
Because that's a. Well, have you seen some of those videos with those black guys with the white girls?
With black guys with the white girls. Yes! I mean, they were like.
That's 75 inches, ain't it?
Yeah, but you know what?
Because I
be
bet you
wondering-
stand that straight up,
Yeah.
you'll get 6 feet.
But I'm going to tell you something.
You get 6 feet already.
I just don't like them because they always like, give me that nigga. Give me that nigga. Like, you know what? This is not. And I'll be mad because you like the actor, but then all you said was a bunch of.
But they always with the skinny white girls.
Yeah.
They don't never be with the big butt
Black girls.
girls. They just be with the skinny white girls.
Yeah.
And then it be kind of making you think it's kid porn, so then you turn it
Ah,
off.
not me.
Oh, you watch that?
I don't think of nothing as no kid porn.
Me, I do because the girl be so skinny. I'm like, no, this is kiddie porn, and I turn it off. But I can't look at somebody who has a body like
Now, how big
this
a-
wall. Some white girls don't be having
Some
a
of them have
body.
a nice body.
No, they don't.
But you know what? They be going,
Ugh, and they be putting all that in them.
all of it. All of it.
I tell you something.
And 2 spots, too.
Oh,
Don't get me started.
I can barely get it in one.
I'm saying something too. Like, how do y'all do that? Now, you know what? Your holes got to be.
Let me tell you something.
Man.
You won't dare. I'm gonna be like that girl in that movie. What's that movie? The Wood or with the brothers? You want to do what? You want me to do what with that? No. We're not doing any of that.
Okay. We tried.
Are you kidding me?
They be getting both holes worked. And
Well,
I
see,
be
you
like,
know-
how do you control both? Like,
But I think one
How?
day, I think that'd be a good look for you if you like decided that you wanted to get money and because you said you want to see
you
how
gonna pay me enough.
for that.
No, not on video. Bitch, can you imagine? Back to the shout
You have
outs.
to keep stopping.
Ebony Hamilton, Penny Diva, India E, Oh, Shawnee boy. Mrs. J, have you watched Shop? Just talked about Lynette Kelly. And the view's been boring these past couple days. Yesterday they had what's his name?
John Lewis.
Yeah,
that I didn't really.
He didn't want to be there. He was like, "Bitch, it's Friday," because he was at the Martin Luther King thing. Because I turned to Fox Atlanta. I watched on their Facebook the Martin Luther King tribute thing the commemorative tribute they do every year. It was so good. I watched all 3 hours
of what?
The Martin Luther King commemorative tribute and at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta.
What they have at
They at the new church.
Because they have a mega church.
Yeah, and that's where they had it at. And Bernice King was there, the King family, everybody from the movement, everybody that goes to the church. It was packed from top to bottom.
I know. Wow.
And they had people singing, people doing performances and stuff like that. It was amazing.
I would love to go and visit Ebenezer Baptist Church.
The original church?
Not the original church, because we visited there, but we couldn't go in because maybe they were doing reconstruction or whatever. But I would like to visit the new church on a Sunday morning when close to Martin Luther King Day, because I'm sure the services are really, really nice. I would love to.
So listen, they had one of these male singers. I don't know who he is. He's brown skin. He wore glasses. If you watch the service, it's on their Facebook page. It's on Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page. You should be able to watch it. I don't know who he was, but he was singing, and I don't even know them gospel songs like that. But I was feeling it sitting right here.
I know that's right.
And Dottie Peoples got up there. She was going in and out, but you know what? Dottie Peoples got up there and she sang.
Yeah.
Then Reverend Robert, the General Robert E. Lee, his nephew or his grandson, he got up there and he preached.
Yeah, because I think his grandson is a preacher, because he was on he was on one of these news shows. It may have been CNN, and they were talking about his great grandfather or wherever he is to him, and he was saying how he felt as though his relative statue should be taken down because he felt like it was, and it's no progress. Oh, he did. Oh, wow, that's good.
He was feeling like it's no progress. But he's like, we got to be somewhere because you have the nephew or the grandson with Martin Luther King in his church. Like we're doing something. Right. And I mean, that church went off.
But I will say this: I love a good sermon. I love me.
Everybody wanted to have something positive to say. Right. And it was just like, he's like, one guy was like, I don't know how I'm gonna follow that, but and then he went there, he did his thing. I was like, yes, but you better talk about how, you came from one of those asshole countries. He didn't say that, but he's like, we immigrated here, and this is what my family did, and everybody played their part. It was so good, and I was glued to that TV for 3 hours watching the live stream. And I tweeted it out. I know I tweeted it out. I might be able to, just to make sure it's still on Facebook. I know I tweeted it out.
I want to see it on YouTube, because I feel like on Facebook it just, I don't know.
Yeah, some people might be yeah.
I saw this new interview I just saw on Netflix with President Obama and David Letterman.
Yes, I didn't get a chance to watch that. How was it?
I didn't see it. I said I want to see it. They just posted it, I think.
Oh, I hope it's still there. Let's see.
Something like that they should have added to YouTube already.
Yeah, somebody probably copied it. Here, yep, it's right there.
Atlanta's Ebenezer Baptist Church. And this is the 3 hours. It's 3 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Can you send that to me?
I sure will. Let me make sure I reply. Sorry, y'all. Hold up.
I love me a good sermon. I really do.
They didn't delete it.
What was the title of it? I'm gonna see if I can find it on YouTube too.
Remember Ebenezer Baptist Church. Put in Ebenezer Baptist Church 2018.
Why am I not having no connection?
I can't get this video to play. They probably deleted it. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Wrestling on? Oh, I'm getting upset because it won't play. It won't play.
Certain clips, but it's not what's the name.
Watch. Okay, here go the link right here.
If you want to hear a good sermon, by the way, while you're listening, I think about a year or two ago I told you about Martin Luther King's drum major sermon that he did. It's on YouTube. It's an audio. It's not a visual. But you listen to that sermon. to a really good sermon.
Mikhail, did you know that I did not know that Martin Luther King got stabbed in 1958?
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
I never knew that. Somebody walked up to Are You Martin Luther King and stabbed him.
But remember I was telling you about how his mom got killed. She was too.
Mm-hmm. In the church, right?
Yeah, and sitting at the organ on a Sunday morning.
Yes.
And then was killed by a black guy. Walked in the church on a Sunday morning and went up to her and shot her. And his brother died from drowning in the pool I think a year later or 2 years later.
Her brother?
His brother, Martin Luther King's brother. His sister's the only one that's still living.
Yeah, and that's, she's 90-something years old. She was the oldest. She outlived everybody.
Yeah. The father lived pretty long too, because the father, I think, was still living. No, he wasn't living around the time when they did the commemorative of his birthday, but he lived for a long time too.
Yeah, but they still got the video up. Look at her.
But is this
this from yesterday?
But is this the whole thing?
Thus his purpose, Jesus Christ.
Where's this on?
I'm gonna send you the link. I'm gonna send you the link.
Justice is the
So I
action.
want to find the guy that was singing. Wait. Huh. You know who he is?
No, I know the song.
There's no way I can breathe without you. There's no way
Does it say his name? No, I don't know.
there's no way
I don't like his haircut.
I can breathe.
But I just like his voice.
Yeah, he can sing. But I'm getting into his haircut. I don't like it.
Say it with me. There's
He's not even popping his face. Turn it off. Turn it off. And send me the link. Because he's like that. He said, pump your fist. He's like that. That's something you would do.
I went to none. I
And I'm
just
looking at
standing
you,
there.
Kevin. He said
Side to
this,
side.
not this.
I'm gonna send you that link. How do I do this? Shit, I don't want the Facebook link. I'll text it to you. Remind me. Text it to me now to text you the thing. So yeah. So
Embarrassed.
Dawn wants to play. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's why I like. That's why I like watching stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't. I really don't.
So listen, y'all. Thank y'all all for watching. We'll be back Thursday with another video. I hope y'all enjoyed your Martin Luther King Day. I know we know the president ain't do what he was supposed to do yesterday, and you know what? What else do y'all expect from this man? He is a hot ass mess, and he's going to be a hot mess for a while. And that's just the country that we live in today. But we all need to make sure that everybody we know that's about to be 18, or even if they're not registered, everybody, ask your friends, are you registered to vote? Because if you're not, you need to be registered to vote. Because I want everybody to turn out in the 2018 midterm elections. Find out who's up for election and who's not, or who's coming up and what they stand for. And we got to get out there and vote. It's very, very important, you guys. So please, make sure, even in church, you know, you could probably find out who's registered, who's not, who needs to update their registration, because they've been purging people who haven't voted for a certain amount of time. If you hadn't voted in a while, they purge your name off the voting list. So then when you go vote, bitch, you're not even on there because you haven't been voting. And they said in Ohio, they purged about 50,000 people off the list. So yeah.
Anything that has purging in it, I don't want to be involved.
Well, they eliminated it. And you know what I seen halfway through for the first time? Get Out. And it was good. But I was tired.
Oh, with the guy. Oh, yeah.
I was tired though, but bitch, it's good. And I was catching all the shade from the father, from meeting the father part to he got sunken into the chair.
That was a weird movie.
Yeah,
It really was.
but it's good.
It was good, but it was so weird. Like, it's really weird.
I finished watching it.
Very weird.
But yeah, but we're gonna go. Y'all have a good weekend. If y'all know any good Netflix documentaries,
Oh, can I say? Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Say that.
Let me
I wanna
know.
Say something real quick. So the other day I was on YouTube, because y'all know this is one of the reasons why I don't catch up on a lot of shows, because I be too into these documentaries. So I was on YouTube and I came across the PBS. Well, it's not their YouTube channel, but it's a channel on YouTube that has a lot of the American Experience documentaries that they show on PBS. And I came across the Bonnie and Clyde one. Now, we all kind of know the story. We're all familiar with the story of Bonnie and Clyde and how they were just going around, you know, robbing and, you know, doing their thing to get money, whatever the case may be. But I actually got a chance to watch this documentary, and it was so good that I learned so much about them. It really got me to kind of understand why they were doing what they were doing. Not that it was right that they did what they did, because they killed like 12 people in 2 years. But it wasn't, but it wasn't them killing people like, I'm just going to go and kill you. It was basically killing, most of the people that they killed, I think, were like law enforcement people. And they were killing them to stop them because it was like, y'all in our way for trying to get in the way, so we got to kill you because you're in our way. But it was a good documentary that I kind of learned, I learned, because I never knew this, but I learned that the two of them came up extremely, extremely poor. Like, poor to the point that Clyde, he and his family, when he was young, they lived in this part of Texas, right outside of Dallas, or they lived in Dallas, but it was this part of the city where it was where a lot of poor people lived, and it was like an area, and it was like made up of all these shacks, and these people in like this shack community shared one outhouse. And for those of you that don't know what an outhouse is basically another house for a porta potty. That's where porta potties come from, the outhouse. Back in the day, before houses had adequate plumbing for toilets and things like that, there was an outhouse, and that's where people went to go to the bathroom.
A community.
So it was just like, I mean, his family came up poor, and her family, her father died. I think he either died when she was young or he left, but I think it was more so he died. So her mother had to raise her and her two siblings. I mean, and they came up poor too. I mean, it was basically like, and it started making me think about how it is today, where a lot of people are so just like to the point where they don't have work and they can't find work, so they go out and rob people. I'm not saying that it's okay, because it's not an excuse, it's not okay. But I understood, and the story was so sad too because of the fact that it was such a love story. Like, they kind of like were so inseparable. Like, she didn't want to leave him at all, and he would try to kind of get her to like, no, stay back. It's really good. And so if you all get a chance to see this documentary, because I really, really recommend it, and I only recommend the best, or at least I try to recommend the best. But this is it. Let me push this. What's the name? It is called, it's right there. It's called Bonnie and Clyde, American Experience Documentary 2017. Okay? That's it right there. So you look that up on YouTube. It's really, really good, and I highly, highly recommend it. And I usually don't watch stuff until the ending credits. When the credits come on and the names and stuff. But I watched that whole thing to the ending credits, and I started shedding a tear because they were showing the different pictures and stuff. And I was shedding a tear. I was just like, wow, this is really sad.
How long is it?
It's like an hour. No, I don't think it's an hour. Yeah, it's like an hour. It's an hour documentary. But it was so sad because, usually when it goes off, you turn the video off. But I was watching all the way through the credits, and I was just like, wow, this was really sad.
Yeah, like, I watched that Emma 2 documentary you recommended last week.
Oh my God, so many people were hitting me up.
It was so good.
So many people hit me up, Kevin. And when I tell you people were hitting me up, they were leaving paragraphs of how good it was, and how some of them were like, I never saw this, but I told y'all it was a really good documentary.
It was real good.
And then to hear it from his mother's voice, you know what I mean? Before she died.
Yeah, man, she was just describing him laying there. I'm just like, wow, because that was horrible.
And her only child, and she never had any kids after that.
She said, I can see the sunlight coming out the other side. Like, how do you even remember
out of his head?
Yeah. How do you remember that?
Well, that's something you don't forget. Because when it's your child laying there.
Like, I couldn't black out. She's like, I just couldn't do it no more. She's like, he ain't had my ear curl up, all of that stuff.
When it's your child laying there and you see something like that, you don't forget it.
And she was able to describe, like,
yep.
Lord, it was horrible. But I'm still kind of mad at the family for letting white people come in there and take him.
But you gotta remember at that time,
that was different.
Kevin, that was different. And then it was in the South. There was no such thing as fighting these white people back. Because if you fought them back, you got killed. They all would have been dead. And then nobody would have ever known what happened to them. You see what I'm saying? That just was the way it was back then. And thank God we don't live in a time, but that's just how it was. And it was so unfortunate because it's like you could literally come into my house, take somebody, and get away with it.
Like that.
No, they didn't.
Now, I didn't even know all of those details.
And he was a child at that.
Oh, it was horrible.
But that was their way of letting the other black people in the community know this is what happens when you step out of line. When you step out of line, this is what happens. And he was a stranger too. They didn't know who the fuck he was, so they really was going to teach these people a lesson. You don't come down here and call yourself whistling at somebody.
Yep. And then the trial. Oh, this beat go on and on and on. Like,
that was horrible. He didn't have. It was like, why was there a trial? Because he didn't have this.
Yeah. Then got paid $4,000 a year if we did it after the trial. Like, come on.
Yeah, because the trial's over now. Yeah.
Like,
the trial's over now, so therefore we can now admit that we did it. But even if they would admit it at the trial that they did it, they still would have found some type of way of self-defense.
yeah. But how do you do that? Like, they done point you out. You came somebody. I'm getting mad. Let's go. Thank y'all for watching. Yeah. But that was a really good documentary. And if you still didn't watch it, go watch it. The untold story of Emmett Lewis Till. Y'all go watch that.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I want to see what Taraji's going to do with that. Because she's supposed to be getting the rights to it. What's she going to do with it?
I think she's going to do a good job.
I hope so.
I think she's